Okay, welcome back to Local Podcast Mogul. In this video, we're going to be talking about doing local keyword research for your client. And I'm going to talk about the keyword tools that you're going to use. And actually, we can just really say that this is going to be about keyword research because you're going to use the same tools for your personal shows or whatever it is that you're trying to rank. You're going to use the same tools. And again, this is not meant to be a full treatment on keyword research. However, I do want to introduce those of you who may be new to keyword research to the tools that you are going to use. Now, if you are doing research, let's say for a painter or plumber or some other small business there in your area, of course, you're going to want to look first to the Google AdWords keyword tool. I'm going to take a look here very quickly. And when you pull this up, you're going to go to do a Google search. And then when you get to the search bar, just type in Google AdWords keyword tool. And then once you do that, of course, then you're going to go into the AdWords keyword tool. Okay, then once the AdWords keyword tool is open to you, mine is taking a little bit here. You're going to put in your chief search phrase. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to use, let's say I'm going to use Harrisburg floor finishing. Right, I'm going to look in all categories. Now, in this case, I will sometimes check this box. In other cases, I won't. And typically, when I first start keyword research, I want to do my research as broadly as possible. Okay, then I'm just going to do a search there. Okay, so in this case, we don't have a significant, at least search volume in terms of how Google tracks this term. We do know that floor finishing is a search term. So we're going to consider that if someone wants floor finishing in Harrisburg, or if they want it in Mechanicsburg or one of my local towns, that this search volume is going to be in effect. We're going to actually be looking nationwide, and so there will be a piece of that that will be in Harrisburg. Okay, so when we see a term and it has a considerable number of searches universally, we will assume that that term will be searched also in the Harrisburg area, and therefore we want to take a look at what we can do with that term in Google AdWords keyword tool. And again, this is not a complete treatment of keyword research. We're just introducing you to all of the tools. So that's the Google AdWords keyword tool. You'll also want to check Google Trends, and I'll show you that here in a minute. And we're going to go back here. And we're going to just type in Google Trends. Okay, and then we'll do a search. Now, Google Trends will let you know what people have been searching recently. Some of the information that you're going to get here is not going to appear in your AdWords keyword tool results. Okay, so we're going to go to Explore here. And so what we want to do here is we want to add a term here. We want to take out all search terms. Now the search term we want to add here is going to depend on what we want to look for. And in this case, we want to look for floor finishing. Now, as soon as we type in floor finishing, here's what's going to interesting will happen. We're going to get a chart, and Google is going to give us all the information from 2005 to 2013. Of course, then we want to narrow that down. Maybe we want to see just 2012. And then we'll find that, okay, that most of the interest here is going to be within the United States. Now we can actually drill down into our local area if we think that's going to be helpful. So let's do that here. And then we got to get moving because we have some other keyword tools to take a look at. You'll see most of the volume there is in California and New York. So let's then, so really and truly, okay, this, I'd say this search volume regionally is probably not going to help us a whole lot. Now, beside that, what you can do is you want to look at both the top and rising search terms. These indicate what people are searching for in increasing numbers and gets to be more popular as time goes on. So one rising search term in terms of floor finishing is concrete floor finishing. It was a rising search term. So it was above average, and it's averaging, or it's rising faster than the average. So more people are searching for concrete floor finishing. The top searches when it comes to floor finishing: wood, hardwood finishing, basement concrete. So you've got some ideas on either what you can do shows on, what you can put into your description, or things that you want to include when you are writing your content or putting your content together. In this case, you're not going to be doing a lot of written content, but you will be able to use these terms. We're going to talk about that in a minute with the contextual target tool also. So Google Trends will also give you information. You'll need to use these buttons to narrow down your topic as you go on along. Now you want to also take a look at Google Suggest. And again, I'm pretty sure I'm preaching to the choir right now. You're probably familiar with that, but let's kind of go through this anyway. Just briefly, let's go back to Google. And what Google suggests is, if you'll notice, I've got my Suggest tool turned on, right? And so what I can do is, as I start typing in words, Google will kind of try to finish my sentence. And what it's telling me is, here are all the terms that are being searched. Maybe this is what you mean because these are popular searches, right? So what you can do is you can start trying to figure out, okay, what are people typing in? Right? If I just put in the word floor, they're looking at flooring, floor plans, flooring contractors, flooring stores. So you start to figure out which words are going to be the ones that people are going to be searching for. Okay, and then you're going to use that information accordingly. Okay, and then let's take a look now at the YouTube keyword tool. The YouTube keyword suggestion tool. We're going to use that the very same way. Now, in this case, you're going to figure that most people are not going to be looking for floor finishing inside of YouTube. However, you do want to find out what search terms are relevant and what people are searching for. What you may find is that Okay, what you may find is that the results are going to be much different from Google, from the Google AdWords keyword tool, and that's okay. It should be. And as you can see, we have some interesting terms here that we can either take a look at deeply or just put them in our content. Okay, yeah, I got ahead of you here. Okay, now you also want to take a look at YouTube Suggest. Works pretty much like Google Suggest. So we go back to youtube.com here, and we want Google, and we want YouTube to tell us what people are searching, and we can do that by using YouTube Suggest. It works just like Google Suggest. So in this case, we're just going to kind of type until something from Google either tells us that this is probably not something that people have been searching for, or it's going to tell us what relevant terms people are searching for, so then we can look for videos, and then we can really determine then what our video is going to be. See, it's taking a little long there, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the last point, which is looking at the contextual targeting tool. Now, what are you going to use the contextual targeting tool for in Google? Well, the contextual targeting tool is really much like the old Google Wonder Wheel. And what YouTube does is it tells you what it sees as being relevant for a search term. And if you're going to get it from someone, you want to get it straight from the horse's mouth. Now, the Wonder Wheel is no longer in existence. However, you can use the contextual targeting tool in the same way that you did with the Wonder Wheel. Okay, well, let's see, that's back now. So let's take a look here. If I type in Harrisburg, and what you're going to see is you'll see what people are searching for here in Harrisburg area. Now that may not be your keyword tool, but that's okay. But you do have an idea of what people are searching for strictly inside of YouTube. And if you see your keyword tool, or you see a way to hitch your wagon to it, if you want to take a look here now, Harrisburg Stampede, that's one of our sports teams there. If I was smart, I would do a show on that, right? But again, if you're just doing this pretty much to talk to business owners, you want to try to find some relationship between the business owner and what's really happening in the search engines. You can do that by using Google Suggest or YouTube Suggest. Now, I was talking about the contextual targeting tool. I do want to show you that here before this video ends. I'm going to have to go inside of AdWords to do that. And I'm going to have to close Chrome. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go back to the AdWords keyword tool. Okay, I'm going to log in there. And the contextual targeting tool is going to give us information on what kind of keywords we can effectively use. All right, so what we're going to do here, in order to we're going to go to the Tools section, and we're going to go to the contextual targeting tool. And we get to the contextual targeting tool. Again, if you remember the old Wonder Wheel, what we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out what the theme of the keyword is according to Google, right? So if you're trying to figure out, okay, well, what other words or what kind of things does Google think that the content in this term should revolve around? Well, we can then put it in the contextual targeting tool. Okay, floor finishing. So we're going to search. And what you're going to see here are a couple of things. Now, Google is going to give us its theme for floor finishing. Wood floor finishes, hardwood floor finishes, concrete floor finishes. Okay, these words, according to Google, form the theme of this word. I mean, if you're building a website, of course, or if you're building a silo-based website, you can use the contextual targeting tool, especially if you're going to be trying to rank in Google, right? These could be your category pages. But in this case, you're going to be doing shows on these topics, or you're going to make sure that these terms are in your descriptions and your show information, because again, that will help you to rank your show and the show in general. Okay, so with that, that is the end of your setup with keyword research, and I will see you in the next video.